Our firm is called AccountingWare. The product you are about to see is ActivReporter. The wise King Solomon said, "What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun." Today, we are going to challenge that assertion. We will show you some things that are truly unique, things you have never seen before, or even thought possible. Those are big claims. Let me prove it to you. First, the name ActivReporter indicates it is a reporter, and indeed it is, an Excel-based financial report writer. Wouldn't it be nice if you could create all financial statements directly in Excel, with the ability to drill down on any number to the underlying financial detail, and then from this detail drill back to Dynamics GP and the source document? You can with ActivReporter. To illustrate, let's create a balance sheet. We start Excel, and note that there is an embedded ribbon menu for ActivReporter. We connect to the Fabricam database. And from the Options button, choose a calendar, year, and period. There is a layout wizard, which we now use and select the option Balance Sheet Current versus Prior Year. Next, we need some method to define the row content of our financial statement. There are many options you see in the pull-down. We could choose to present every account in the chart of accounts, or aggregate by a particular segment of the chart of account. But typical balance sheets use account grouping mechanisms. The built-in grouping mechanism in GP is account categories. We will use the GP balance sheet categories. And voila! We have a template balance sheet comparing this year to last year, fully populated, which is only missing some beautification steps for subtotaling and formatting. Spending a few minutes in Excel, we can transform this template into a polished balance sheet, like this. And every number is drilled downable to the underlying detailed transactions, and each of those transactions is drill backable to Dynamics GP. So, in just a few minutes after installing ActivReporter, we have successfully created a complete working financial statement. As we noted before, the built-in grouping mechanism in GP is categories. But ActivReporter will let you define any grouping mechanism you need, as many as you want, just like Management Reporter. And wouldn't it be nice if you could leverage the work you have invested in Management Reporter to create financial designs? You can with ActivReporter. Look at this Management Reporter design for an income statement. Most of the tedious work is in the row definitions, as shown here. Row definitions are analogous to roll-ups in ActivReporter. Let's bring up the ActivReporter application and go to this roll-up section. There is a button at the top to convert Management Reporter row definitions to ActivReporter roll-ups, which we now employ. A login is required to read the Management Reporter tables. We choose the Income Statement row design, an appropriate name, and we see it appear automatically in the ActivReporter system. We now activate this roll-up so we can use it in an ActivReporter financial report. Back to Excel. Let's choose the Layout wizard. Income Statement Current versus Year to Date. Use the row definition that we just extracted from Management Reporter. And we have a template income statement. All we need is some Excel polish, and we have our completed design. A mirror of the Management Reporter design. Now that was amazing. Just a few minutes work from Management Reporter to ActivReporter. Pretty exciting to see you can leverage your previous work from Management Reporter, right? And wouldn't it be nice if additional postings did not require a complete regeneration of the report? With ActivReporter, it doesn't. Let's illustrate by making a posting in Dynamics GP general ledger. Now, a simple recalculation of the spreadsheet, and voila! The spreadsheet immediately reflects the change without a time-consuming regeneration step. In the financial designs we have presented thus far, we have employed the layout wizard. ActivReporter has many more capabilities that can be explored by using the financial functions built into Excel. Note the Excel financial functions that are used in this financial design: company function, a period function, description functions, activity functions, and year-to-date functions. These are but a few of the more than 50 functions available for you to design intricate financials, and you can see them all listed here in the ribbon. For each function, the native Excel function arguments wizard will assist in filling in the proper items for each argument. And here is a fully polished boardroom quality financial that you can distribute to your CEO or department heads. And note, this Excel spreadsheet is a little different. It has been published. The publish step replaces all formulas in the cells with numerical amounts and protects the workbook from inadvertent changes. But the executives can still do drill down to the underlying detail and drill back to Dynamics GP. If you think we are showing you some sleight of hand by using the small Fabricam dataset, here is a real-world example from University with over 3 million transactions. The university must report to the NCAA using a special financial design dictated by the NCAA. We connect our spreadsheet to the university. Use the layout wizard. Select Income Statement Current versus Previous Year and the NCAA roll-up. And here is the template design. Change the period, recalculate, and you witness the tremendous speed that is characteristic of ActivReporter. And there is more. The university is required to report by semester. And to accomplish this, they create a special calendar in ActivReporter to facilitate this reporting. We choose the year 2017, spring semester, and recalculate. In ActivReporter, you can create as many calendars as you need for specialized reporting, such as the semester calendar, as we have shown. Also in ActivReporter, you can create unlimited financial designs, such as the NCAA design we just examined. And just like in Management Reporter, you can create unlimited variations and combinations of row definitions and column layouts. We have observed shaded areas to the left and at the top of the financial design. These are optional metadata areas that are helpful in creating financial designs. In the ribbon, there is an option to hide or show the metadata areas. And one more important note, all the balance sheets and income statements produced in ActivReporter can be designed to be accurate whether or not the prior year has been closed. What about reporting trees? In the Options button, we can limit our financial presentation to any subset of the account segments. Here we specify our design limited to a group of funds, the restricted funds. And we can add as many conditions in subsequent rows as needed to create our reporting tree structure. And we can iterate to mass-produce financial statements. Here we iterate over the fund types to produce 3 spreadsheets: restrict funds, operational funds, and miscellaneous. You can distribute these spreadsheets to the appropriate stakeholders. and maintain complete drill down and drill back functionality. We also could have produced PDF files or hard copy printouts. One of our customers has more than 25 fast food restaurants. By using reporting trees and iteration, only one step is necessary to produce all 25+ store financial reports. And what about multiple companies and consolidated statements? Multiple companies in Dynamics GP can be represented by different databases, or by a segment item in a single database. ActivReporter can do reporting in either case or in combinations. For separate databases, there is a parameter in each numeric financial to specify the company database. In the case where a segment item delineates the company, you can use the segment parameter to specify the company. You can line up companies in columns, independent of the account structure of each individual company. You can list companies in rows and examine common items about each company in columns. You can group companies into reporting units. What about securing and organizing your Excel files? Excel-based financials in ActivReporter can be stored in the Windows file system and using the Windows file security to limit access. However, the recommended way to store your Excel-based financials is to store them in the ActivReporter database. If you choose to store the Excel workbooks in the ActivReporter database, then you can apply security to access the files that is consistent with the security to access all of the financial data contained in ActivReporter. Also, another compelling advantage to storing the Excel workbooks in the database is historical versioning. Who hasn't made inadvertent errors in redesigning a complicated workbook and would like to return to the version from last week or last quarter? With ActivReporter, you can. By the way, what is the -A at the end of the account number in ActivReporter? Do you recall the reporting ledger functionality in GP, IFRS, or International Financial Reporting Standard? The -A represents the default local book ledger. -I represents the IFRS ledger. ActivReporter supports all the ledgers of GP and additional ledgers for budget and unit accounts. Almost all financial statements end up in Excel for final presentation. With ActivReporter, you can start with Excel and leverage the skills you already know to produce your financial designs. Was King Solomon correct? There is nothing new under the sun? Maybe. You have seen Excel-based financial reporting before, but never so easy and intuitive as we have shown today, without separate design and generate processes like in Management Reporter or JET. Tightly integrated with GP, with drill down and drill back capability directly from Excel, and the ability to leverage the work you have invested in Management Reporter designs. But now we are going to really question "there's nothing new" statement of King Solomon by showing active database technology. Wouldn't it be nice if you could take your static trial balance report and turn it into a dynamic on-screen tool that updates in real time with any changes made in Dynamics GP? You can with ActivReporter. Active trial balance is something you have never seen before in any accounting software. A trial balance that will be used in the daily research activities of your accounting staff, or by management as a real-time view into the health of the business. Here is the active trial balance in the university data set. Over 16,000 accounts. We change the period, a trial balance for any date, almost instantaneously. And look at the calendars we can employ. The standard fiscal calendar from GP, the semester calendar, or even the forever calendar. We are not restricted to a trial balance by all accounts. Maybe we want to look at only a subset of our data, like the General Fund 01, or only a certain college, like Physical Sciences PS. Or just a group of accounts like the cash accounts. And maybe we don't want to look at individual accounts at all, but account composites like the NCAA summarization we referenced earlier. And most importantly, for any number on any of these active trial balance presentations, you have complete drill down to the underlying detail and drill back to GP. But wait, there is more. The active trial balance isn't named active without a reason. Active trial balances reflect in real time any changes made in GP, always up to date. No refresh action required. Let's demonstrate. GP is on the right of the screen, and ActivReporter showing the active trial balance is on the left. We want to enter transactions in GP and see what happens to the active trial balance. We have previously recorded a set of transactions. We will now play them back. First, we create a batch. Now, watch closely on the left and see that the corresponding entries immediately appear in the active trial balance. These entries are in a batch, so they are unposted in GP terms. We can choose whether to exclude them or include them in our trial balance. Since the entries are in a batch and thus unposted, we will now delete the batch, and they disappear from the active trial balance. Why is this active database concept so useful? It is extremely helpful to monitor posting actions as you work. It eliminates errors. It is also beneficial to see your staff working in real time instead of relying on after-the-fact or point-in-time reporting. Here is a set of cash accounts and a time lapse of postings that are made in GP, showing increases and decreases of cash in real time. And here is a dashboard tied to the sales accounts. And again, a time lapse of sales postings in Dynamics GP. No refresh key needed. Active trial balance is certainly a unique differentiator of the ActivReporter product, and challenges King Solomon's wisdom, don't you think? There is something truly new under the Dynamics GP sun. And here is another amazing feature of ActivReporter: data visualization. By data visualization, we could mean graphic products like Power BI. ActivReporter supports an OData feed and Power BI, but that is not the current context. The current context is tabular presentation, such as Smart List, Excel reports, and navigation lists. Think about it for a moment. When are each of these data visualization products most useful? You use Smart List when you want control over the data presented and drill back to details in Dynamics GP, but it is painfully slow. You use refreshable Excel reports when you need to manipulate the data and total the numerical columns and have reasonably fresh data at your fingertips. And you use Navigation List as a speedy index to access GP data with a synopsis view. Wouldn't it be nice if you could combine all these into a single application? You can with ActivReporter. Look at this view of the chart of accounts from University. Over 14,000 of them instantaneously. We call this view the High Definition or HD view. Add columns to this view, such as the GP category description, the last activity date, currency unit, and the user-defined field number 1. Sort by any column. Filter using the lookup box, such as every account where the department begins with 02. Filter by using predefined filters such as unposted accounts, posting allocation accounts, or unit accounts. Filter using a parameterized filter such as the ? description filter. A parameterized filter allows you to insert parameters at instantiation. For example, we insert the word expense into the parameter, and the result is all chart of accounts with the word expense anywhere in the description. You can apply multiple filters simultaneously. Add the balance sheet filter to this parameterized description filter and see all balance sheet accounts with the word expense in their description, and view accounts that could possibly be misclassified. Define your own filters using the Filter Maintenance Wizard. With conditions on any field, combinatorial capabilities with ands, ors, nots, relative dates, and no limit on the number of conditions. And you can even create your own manual SQL where clause. For any chart of account in this HD pane, we can, with a single keystroke, drill back to the GP chart of account maintenance screen, or the detail screen. Compare this to the chart of account detail posting tab in ActivReporter. In both, you have the ability to select a date range, source document, and currency. But look at all the additional filtering capabilities you have in ActivReporter. And you can create your own filter if needed. Also, the journal detail list in ActivReporter can be sorted by any column. Additional columns can be displayed if desired. And for any highlighted group of journal entries, you get the totals of the highlighted entries at the bottom, just like Excel. Or a Control-A highlights all the rows, and you have the total of all postings. Or highlight specific sections and export to Excel for a static reporting of the items, much faster than Smart Lists. And if you want to observe fantastic speed, here are all the journal entries in the university dataset. Over 1 million of them in just a few seconds. This would take nearly an hour in Smart Lists. Want to see that again? Watch in the lower left corner as the items are counted. And scroll smoothly through the entire list. And of course, drill back on any item into GP. We think that you will prefer ActivReporter for your data visualization needs in the general ledger instead of Smart Lists, Excel reports, or navigation lists. ActivReporter data visualization is not something new under the Dynamics GP sun, but truly a better mousetrap. ActivReporter is just one of the amazing solutions we offer. AccountingWare has been providing accounting-related products and services for 40 years. We are experienced. Our customers overwhelmingly rate us as their top provider for both software and services. With all the features you have seen, I can imagine you are thinking, this must be really expensive. The cost of the product is $1,800 per year, with a $2,500 initial setup fee that includes training and installation assistance. This is extraordinary value. For more information, visit our website at ActivReporter.com. And to download a demonstration copy of ActivReporter that is free to access Fabricam data, visit the website ActivReporter.com/download.